there, and welcome to another episode of The Performance Cafe. I hope that you've been keeping well and that you are safe from COVID. And South Africa's just gone into a higher level of lockdown, and it feels a bit like a throwback to 2021. It's not as bad as what it was, and we must have a lot of gratitude for that. But yes, it is a bit of a strain on the emotions to be back at making sure that we all stay at home as much as we can. That certain services have been closed. The schools are going to be closed again from today in some cases. So, yeah, I think, we speak about the fatigue around COVID. And a lot of people think it's the fatigue around social distancing, having to wear masks, that kind of stuff. That's what we all sort of collectively share. But I suppose there's a thing around productive kindness and business fatigue. And it's just around how much effort it takes to do things that we never used to do. And so there's an interesting discussion to be had around this. A lot of people go, oh, we're in lockdown again. It's the end of the world. And I get that this particular variant is, it's particularly potent, and we're seeing a lot more people getting ill and a lot more people passing away. And it's really traumatic what we have to go through. But at the same time, I'm thinking that we've been through this before, right? This is our third big lockdown in probably just over a year. It's about a year and 3 months, if I'm calculating correctly. And so maybe there's a point to go and sit and say, what are the lessons learned? What got us this far through 2 previous lockdowns? And how do we use that? And maybe how do we make that a permanent part of the business so that from now on, no matter why we have a lockdown, no matter what the cause of the lockdown, we actually already have things in place. There's a saying that says, fooled you once, shame on you, fooled me twice, shame on you. Well, I'm sort of at the point where I'm thinking, well, it's the third lockdown, we should have learned something by now. And it's not that easy. I get it, because, there are just businesses that can't function virtually. But I'm sure that for each of us, there was a little bit of learning, a little bit of growth. And I think it would be really great if we just build that into our future plans so that we stop living in this sort of fantasy of one day there will be no pandemic. Maybe there won't be. Maybe there'll be 15 different variants. Maybe something new will happen. But at least there are emergency protocols, or there is an alternative way of being so that we can prepare, so that the next lockdown is actually so much easier to deal with. So how do you do this? And what's it got to do with productive kindness? Well, if we think about productive kindness, it's about how do we get maximum productivity in a time where people need empathy, kindness, and support. Well, firstly, if we're building businesses that are lockdown proof, or at least lockdown ready, if not proof, then we're in a situation where we know that if we have to go into this place again, we've got some plans in place. People are used to things. This has been explained. People understand the expected. Even if you just build a lockdown culture so that during odd periods, you actually have a plan that people are already aware of. Right? It's not going to surprise us if there's a 4th lockdown. It won't. It won't surprise us if there's a 5th and a 6th and different variants. And it's not going to surprise us if vaccinations continue to go slow, or if we need different vaccinations for different variants. We know that this is a very complicated situation. So we do need to rise to the occasion. The other way of dealing with it with productive kindness is, if you thought people were lockdown fatigued before this, or COVID fatigued before this, here comes they're going to be so now. So go to speak to each person in your team and understand, how is this affecting their ability to get their work done? And then assemble them and build a new method. Nothing says that you can't build something new right now that might actually even work better, even when we're not in lockdown. But have open and honest conversations with people. Allow them to express frustration, anger, exhaustion, fatigue, sorrow, loss. Remember, every lockdown puts a whole bunch of plans on hold. And when we grieve, we don't just grieve for what we've lost from the past, but we also grieve the potential that's been lost. So I might have been expecting to be promoted, but now I won't because all the plans in the business have slowed down. I might have expected to go on an overseas holiday that I've been saving for forever. And now that can't happen. It's not just a loss of that thing can't happen. It's about all the knock-on effects that this holds. So use that compassion, use that empathy. Remember to be productively kind to yourself as well as the person who is listening to this and absorbing all this information. Remember, empathy and compassion doesn't mean that you must feel bad about it. It means that you sit quietly and hold a space so that someone can debrief. No one would expect of you that debriefing should drag your day down. You can't make plans. You can't help be part of the solution if you're too weighed down by those messages. So, productive kindness is listen to them. Productive kindness is somehow isolate yourself and don't feel guilty if you don't get dragged down and feel sad with people. Rather use that energy to be part of the solution. So yes, here we are doing the lockdown hustle again in South Africa for roughly 2 more weeks, and then hopefully the worst of it will be over. I'm hoping that productive kindness in general, in any way, has made some small improvement to your situation and those who work alongside you or for you or with you. And then I look forward to our next solo, our next coffee companion. As always, remember, if you like this, please, if you're viewing us from YouTube, go and subscribe to our channel and hit the little bell so that you'll get the notification when the next video is available. If you're following us on LinkedIn and Facebook, we're so glad to have you there. Please feel free to comment, share, post. Tell us what you think. Disagree with us. We love a good, fresh perspective. And then, until next time, I'll see you at the Performance Cafe.